Welcome to Trending Upward, and this is Chad Hayes. I want to thank you for tuning in to today's episode of Trending Upward, and I trust that the podcast today will be a help to you. It is my desire that the Word of God be used in such a way on this platform that it would be a help to you as you seek to trend upward. It is important that this life that we live be an ascending Christian life and not a descending Christian life. I trust it to be a help to you as you listen today. On today's episode, we're going to be looking at biblical love. And first off, we're going to look at the nature of love out of 1 Corinthians 13, verses 4 through 8. Charity suffereth long and is kind. Charity envieth not. Charity vaunteth not itself, is not puffed up, doth not behave itself unseemly, seeketh not her own, is not easily provoked, thinketh no evil, rejoiceth not in iniquity, but rejoiceth in the truth, beareth all things, believeth all things, hopeth all things, endureth all things. Charity never faileth. So we're going to look at some things today about love. And first off, love is an action. Love is not merely a feeling. Love is not merely an emotion. Love is action. In 1 John 3 and verse 18, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. Now, when we see the word or the phrase, let us not love in word, this is talking about, in essence, written words. We see the distinguishment between the word usage of let us not love in word, neither in tongue. So we see the distinction there between word and tongue. So yes, we use our tongues to speak words, but we also use our hands to write words. We use our hands to type words, either through email or text, or we may use our hands to write words as we would use a pen or a pencil or something. But it says, my little children, let us not love in word, neither in tongue, but in deed and in truth. So this verse reminds us that love must go beyond just the words that we communicate with each other. It must show in how we live, and it must show in how we treat one another. Notice also that love is a commandment from God. We see that in John 13, verses 34 through 35. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another. By this shall all men know that ye are my disciples, if ye have love one to another. So the way we love others, it identifies us as followers of Christ. You know, we've seen that even as of late, as our nation has been in somewhat turmoil, or a good part of our nation has been in turmoil over the murder of Charlie Kirk. And it's amazing how followers of Christ have been identified as such based off their love towards their enemies. And that's what our nation needs to see today, and that's what our world needs to see today. They need to see a group of people that is taking the high ground, that is keeping the moral high ground. They need to see that. It displays that we are one of Christ. Now notice also, love shows that we truly know God. In 1 John 4, verse 7 through 8, Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God. And every one that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. He that loveth and knoweth not God, for God is love. So love is not just a nice trait. It is the evidence of being born of God. Love is also humble, and love is also selfless. In Philippians 2, verse 3 through 4, let nothing be done through strife or vainglory, but in lowliness of mind let each esteem other better than themselves. Look not every man on his own things, but every man also on the things of others. So love always puts others before self. We live in a nation and in a world where tragically selfishness has replaced love. And remember, love always puts others before self. Notice also love means forgiveness. In Colossians 3, verse 12 through 14, put on therefore as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, longsuffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye. And above all these things put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. So charity ties everything together in terms of our spiritual maturity. Notice that love extends even to our enemies. In Matthew 5, verses 43 through 44, ye have heard that it hath been said, thou shalt love thy neighbor and hate thine enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, and do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. So the highest form of love is to love even those who do not love us. We've looked at this recently on the podcast when it comes to how to deal with those who would have differing opinions. If we're not careful, we will fight those that we disagree with. And I'm not saying don't stand for truth, and I'm not saying don't contend for the faith, but we should do so in love, and we should do so in a good spirit. People should know that what we say is not to them, it is not to injure them, but it is for them, and it is for their good. And I trust today that you've been reminded of some things as a believer when it comes to love. I'd like to thank you for listening today to Trending Upward. If it's been a help to you, I invite you to share this podcast with someone and help get the word out on how they too can trend upward in their walk with God.